In this video, we'll show you 3 rare and valuable dimes from the United States that could be worth thousands of dollars. These coins may look normal, but small mistakes make them very special. You might even have one in your pocket without knowing it. Let's take a closer look. The first coin we're talking about is the 1972 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark. Now, most people might not even notice something like that, but collectors sure do. Usually, dimes made in Philadelphia in 1972 don't have a mint mark, and that was actually normal back then. But what makes some of these dimes very special and valuable is a rare mistake that happened at the U.S. Mint. In a few cases, the mint accidentally used a coin die, the tool that stamps the design onto the blank metal coin, that was supposed to have a mint mark, but didn't. This missing mint mark error makes the coin different from the rest, and that's why it's worth a lot of money. Mint marks are small letters on a coin that show where the coin was made. For example, D means Denver, S means San Francisco, and P means Philadelphia, although Philadelphia coins sometimes don't have a mint mark at all, especially back in the day. But here's the thing, most 1972 dimes were supposed to be made correctly, even the ones without mint marks. But when you get a coin that was accidentally made with the wrong die, and it doesn't match what's expected, that's when collectors get excited. These mistakes are called errors in the coin world, and they can make a normal-looking coin suddenly worth thousands of dollars. For this 1972 no mint mark dime, if it's in great shape, what collectors call high grade, it can be worth up to $12,000 or more. That's right, a tiny 10-cent coin could be worth thousands, just because of a small error that happened over 50 years ago. Of course, not every 1972 dime without a mint mark is valuable like this. You have to look closely. The coin must show that it's different from normal ones, either by being struck using a special proof die or being extra sharp in detail, which is another sign that it may have been made in a different way than usual. Sometimes coins are meant for coin collectors only, and they are made with more care and shine, called proof coins. If one of those ends up without a mint mark, that could make it even more special. Another important thing is condition. If the coin has been in circulation for years, it might have scratches or be worn down. That lowers the value. But if it looks almost brand new, like it was made yesterday, the price goes way up. That's why serious collectors often have their coins graded by experts at coin grading companies. These companies look at how perfect the coin is and give it a score. The better the score, the more it's worth. So if you find a shiny 1972 dime without a mint mark, don't spend it just yet. You might want to take a closer look. It's pretty amazing to think that such a small mistake made at the mint could lead to such a big reward for someone today. Always check your change, because rare coins like this are still out there, and someone might be lucky enough to find one. Let's go back to the year 1965, which was a very important time for coins in the United States. Back then, there was a serious coin shortage happening. The reason for this was that silver had become very valuable, and people were starting to keep coins made of silver because they were worth more than their face value. This caused a big problem for the U.S. Mint, which is the place where coins are made. To solve this issue and stop people from hoarding coins, the Mint decided to make a big change. They removed the mint marks from all coins, including pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters, between the years 1965 and 1967. A mint mark is a small letter on a coin that shows where the coin was made, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. So, if you have a dime from 1965 and it doesn't have a mint mark, that's not unusual. That was actually normal during that time. But even though the missing mint mark isn't rare on its own, there are still some 1965 dimes out there that are very valuable, and that's because of rare minting errors. One of the most well-known and valuable errors is the silver planchet mistake. A planchet is the blank piece of metal that's used to make a coin. Starting in 1965, the Mint stopped using 90% silver to make dimes and switched to a cheaper copper-nickel material. But in a few cases, some leftover silver planchets from 1964 accidentally got used in the machines, and they were stamped with the 1965 design. These silver 1965 dimes are extremely rare and can be worth thousands of dollars. Some have sold at big auctions like heritage auctions for anywhere between $5,000 and $15,000, with a few reaching prices as high as $12,600. That's a huge value for a coin that originally was worth just 10 cents. Now, even if your 1965 dime wasn't made with silver, there are still other things that can make it special. One thing collectors really look for is strong detail in the design, especially on the back of the coin where the torch is. If the torch shows full bands, meaning the lines across the torch are completely visible and not worn down, then the coin is considered to be in top quality. Coins like that can also be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. Most people wouldn't notice this just by looking, but coin experts and collectors know exactly what to watch for. The condition of the coin is also very important. If a 1965 dime is scratched, dirty, or worn down from use, it won't be worth nearly as much. But if it looks shiny and new, and has been graded by a coin grading company like PCGS or NGC, it can sell for a much higher price. So while most 1965 dimes are common and worth only 10 cents, a few rare ones with silver planchets or perfect details can be worth up to $8,600 or even more. The last coin we're talking about is one of the most exciting and valuable dimes out there, the 1968 Roosevelt dime with a very rare error that makes it worth a lot of money. Normally, when people think of the 1968 dime, they think of the small D mint mark, which stands for the Denver Mint. That was the first year that mint marks were brought back after being removed from coins for a few years. But here's where things get really interesting. In 1968, the U.S. Mint also started making special collector coins again, called proof sets. These proof coins are made very carefully in San Francisco and are not meant to be used in everyday spending. They're made for coin collectors, and they usually have a shiny, mirror-like surface with sharp details. Proof coins made in San Francisco are supposed to have an S mint mark to show where they were made. But somehow, a few of these 1968 proof dimes were made without the S mint mark at all. This was a big mistake because all proof coins from that time should have the mint mark. These rare mistake coins are now called the 1968 No S proof dime. What makes them so special is that they look just like a regular proof coin but are missing the mint mark, which should never happen. Only about 24 of these error dimes are known to exist today, so they're extremely rare. Because of how few there are and how unusual this error is, collectors are willing to pay a lot of money to get their hands on one. Some of these No S proof dimes have sold at auctions for more than $40,000. In fact, a coin in nearly perfect condition, graded as PR69 with cameo or deep cameo effects, that means it has a nice frosted look on the raised parts and a shiny mirror background, has sold for around $40,800 or even more. The very best examples, in perfect shape with amazing visual appeal, can reach prices as high as $47,000. So how do you get to that kind of value? It comes down to three big things: rarity, condition, and appearance. Because there are so few of these coins known, they are already rare. When you add in a super high grade and beautiful contrast between the frosty design and the shiny background, what collectors call eye appeal, that's when the value really goes up. These dimes are not something you'll likely find in regular pocket change because they came from proof sets, but if someone years ago broke up a proof set and spent the coin by accident, one could still be out there. That's what makes coin collecting fun. You never know what kind of treasure might turn up. So while most 1968 dimes are common, this rare No S proof version is a true collector's dream, and its value proves just how exciting small minting errors can be. These rare dimes from 1965, 1968, and 1972 show how small minting mistakes can turn ordinary coins into valuable treasures. Whether it's a missing mint mark, a silver planchet error, or a rare proof coin, each one tells a unique story from U.S. coin history. Their high values, up to $47,000, come from rarity, condition, and collector demand. Always check your change closely, you never know when you might find one of these hidden gems. What seems like just a 10-cent coin could actually be worth thousands. Coin collecting is not just a hobby, it's a chance to discover real value in your hands.